长。
Talking about the increase of knowledge,
NASA 说，
according to NASA,
他说从1957年10月4日第一颗卫星发射到太空去。
from 1957, October the 4th, when the first satellite went to heaven.
大家你看哦，你看第一个卫星多大？
You see how big that
我看到，
satellite is?
小小的，对不对？
Very, very small.
但是他说今天
But
Yo.
NASA say today,
有超过3000个卫星在轨道上面运转。
there are more than 3,000 satellites moving along on the track.
在1990年之前，知识每100年增长1倍。
Before the year of 1900, knowledge increased by 1 time every century.
但是2次世界大战以后，
But after the Second World War,
知识就每25年就增长1倍。
every 25 years, knowledge increased a time.
现在平均每12个月，资讯又增长了1倍。
In our time, every 12 months, knowledge increased by 1 time.
电脑网络自从1994年就被世界的人广泛的使用了。
Ever since the year of 1994, internet has been used greatly by all the world.
这样的事情改变了人们的生活方式、工作方式、做生意的方式。
Using internet has changed the methods and styles of people's living, working, and business doing.
2004年又有这个 Facebook 开始被人家使用。
And since the year of 2004, people begin to use Facebook.
这个资讯一出来的时候，改变了人们沟通的方式。
And when you have Facebook, it again changed the methods of people's communication.
现在我要举一个例子，讲在末世知识的增长跟圣经预言的一个例子。
Now I want to give you an example to illustrate the increase of knowledge in the end time.
启示录第11章说教会被提以后，
The book of Revelation chapter 11 say after the church has been raptured,
神要差派2个见证人向犹太人传福音。
God will send 2 witnesses to proclaim the gospel to the Jews.
他们工作完成的时候就被敌基督杀害，
After they have completed their work, they would be slain by the Antichrist.
尸体就躺在耶路撒冷的街上3天半的时间。
Their dead body, will lie on the street of Jerusalem for 3 days.
圣经说，全世界各族、各方、各国、各民的人都能够看到这2个人在耶路撒冷的街道上。
The Bible says people from all nations, all tribes, all people could observe the dead body of the 2 witnesses on the street of Jerusalem.
不但如此，他们还要互相赠送礼物来庆祝、来欢呼这件事情的
Not
发
only
生
to。watch their dead body, they would also send gifts to each other to celebrate their slain.
在1991年之前，人们读到这个预言都不知道在说什么。
Before the year of 1991, when people read this passage, they did not understand the meaning of what the Bible was trying to
怎
say.
么2个人在耶路撒冷的街上，全世界的人都能够看到他们？
How could 2 people lying on the street of Jerusalem in the whole world being able to watch their dead body?
但1991年1月16日爆发了波斯湾的战争，
But the year of 1991, January the 16th, you had the war in the Persian Gulf.
那个时候全世界第一次通过卫星能够看到飞弹发射的实况直播。
At that time, for the very first time, the whole world was able to watch the explosion of the bomb through the satellite.
今天每一个人都可以看到地球每一个角落所发生的事情的直播。
Today, everyone in the world can observe things from the other parts of the world and when it has been broadcast.
另外，圣经说，在那3天半的时间里面，这些人互相赠送礼物。
Further, the Bible says that during the 3 days, The people throughout the world were giving gift to each other.
你读那个圣经是全世界性的哦，不是地区性的。
As you read the Bible, it is an international event.
你说怎么有可能3天半要寄一个东西到哪里去呢？
You say, how could this be possible? How could people send a gift within 3.5 days?
但是现在我们有环球的邮寄系统，
Now we have the global transportation.
如果你要送一个礼物到亚洲，或者到欧洲，或者到非洲，什么地方都是行的。
If you want to send a gift to Europe, to Asia, to Africa, it is possible.
你在家里做也可以，你在办公室也可以，你拿个手机一打开也都可以。
You could do it in your office, you could do it in person, you could do it through an iPhone.
你只要上个网，然后看看你要买什么东西，然后用信用卡付钱，他们当天就把货送到你的家去了。
Only go on the internet, pay the credit card, the same day, the gift is delivered.
听说 Amazon 现在设计一个无人驾驶送货上门的装置。
I heard that Amazon is designed to have a device that would send the gift all the way to your house, to
但是
your door.
这个礼物不能超过8磅，和8磅那就提不起来。
But it said the gift could not exceed 8 pounds.
现在我们讲应验在这个世代的第3个预言。
Now let's look at the third fulfillment of the prophecy in our time.
启示录第13章16到17节说，
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verses 16 and 17 says,
我先读，然后那个英文就会出来。他又叫众人，无论大小贫富、自主的、为奴的，都在右手上或者在额上受一个印记。除了那受印记，有了寿名或有寿名数目的，都不得做买卖。
and this is what the Bible says, it said, it also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast, or the number of its name.
这里的他是指敌基督。
The it here is a reference to the Antichrist.
当敌基督登上世界政治舞台的时候，
When the Antichrist ascended on the stage of the political history,
他要使用一个新的经济运作体系。
he is going to adopt a new economic system.
他要将号码代替货币和支票。
He's going to use code to substitute cash or check.
他要在每一个人的右手上或额头上装一个号码。
And he will give a code and put it on the right hand of a person's hand or the forehead of a person.
有了这个号码，你做买卖、做交易很方便。
With this code, you could do business and selling and buying very easily.
但是如果没有这个号码，你什么交易都不能够做。
But without this code, you cannot do any business.
但是有了这个号码，你的身份证、你的银行账户，
But with this code, your identity number and your bank account,
你的医疗记录、你的出入行踪，
your medical record, and your going out and coming in,
这一切都显示在这个系统的里面。
all are revealed within this computer system.
那个时候，你将完全被掌控。
At that time, you will be fully controlled.
他要怎么对待你，就怎么对待你。
Whatever the Antichrist will to treat you, he can do so.
那个时候，人们活在极度的恐怖之中。
During the time, people live in panic.
在过去的时间里面，人家非常的惧怕这个日子来到。
In the past, people were so afraid, panicking about the arrival of this time.
但是这个时代已经来到了。
But this time has come.
目前有很多的国家决定废除现金跟支票。
Many nations today have decided to abolish cash and check.
然后用数字货币来做交易。
Instead, they will use digital money to do trade.
你看这个 slide 上面看
You see this slide?
，Sweden 要这样做，
Sweden has decided to do
中
so.
国要这样做，
China has
沙特
decided.
阿拉伯要这样做，
Saudi Arabia,
英国要这样做。
England,
以色列说我们要成为第一个国家来做这件事情。
The Israelites say we want to become the very first nation to do this.
南美洲的 Ecuador 说我们要成为全球第一个，成为一个 cashless 的 society。
Ecuador also determined to be the very first one to become a cashless society.
弟兄姐妹，这样的预言就成就在我们的世代了。
Brothers and sisters, you see that this prophecy is being fulfilled in our time.
以前人们听到说敌基督要把这个号码打进人的右手或者额头上，一听就觉得哎，好恐怖，好恐怖。
In the past, when people heard that the Antichrist would inject the number on the forehead or on the right hand, they felt that it was terrible. It was very fearful.
但你知道吗？在1968年的时候，
But do you know that in the year of 1968,
在第17届新世界直系的会议上面，有一个人叫 Carl Sanders， 他在这个会议上就接受了一个特殊的任务。
in the 17th New World Order Conference, there was a name named Carl Sanders, accepted this responsibility.
就是由他来担任研发可以注入整体超微型的一个晶片。
So he has taken upon himself the responsibility to create a microchip to inject into the body of a person.
Carl Sanders 博士用32年的时间，终于成功的研制了这个产品。
Carl Sanders spent 32 years and finally he successfully created this microchip.
并且他非常惊讶的发现，为了使到这个超微型的晶片，它是自动的、永久的充电。他说，在身体的里面只有2个地方可以这样做，就是右手跟额头。
To his surprise, he discovered that for this microchip to be automatically charged, the two places in the human body that would do the best job are the forehead and the right hand.
这个跟圣经的预言完全的吻合。
This corresponds perfectly with biblical prophecy.
目前在美国以外的一些国家已经开始把这个晶片注入整体的里面。
Many countries outside of the US have already injected this microchip into their body.
美国也本来要很快的做这件事情，
The US wanted to quickly do this.
但是基督徒强烈的反对，
But Christians in this country strongly oppose it.
因为基督徒读到启示录14章9到11节的话，
For the Christians have read the words regarding the Antichrist in the book of Revelation 14:9 to 11.
这里圣经说，若有人拜兽和兽像，在额上或在手上受了印记，这人必喝神大怒的酒，他要在圣天使羔羊面前，在火和硫磺之中受痛苦，他受痛苦的烟往上冒，直到永永远远。那些拜兽和兽像受他名之印记的，昼夜不得安宁。英文。
And this is what the Bible says. If anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their head, they too will drink the wines of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb.
圣经还说，当敌基督登上政治舞台的时候，
The Bible further says that when the Antichrist ascended to the stage of politics,
他说他要统治的不是一个国家，乃是全世界。
the Bible says what the Antichrist wants to reign is not only one nation but the whole world.
你说全世界有70亿人，怎么有可能呢？
You say the whole world, what currently has 7 billion people, how could this be possible?
但是这个时间一到就有可能。
But when the time comes, it's possible.
2次世界大战以后，有影响力的外交家们就开始聚集在一起，谈论要建立一个新世界的秩序。
After the Second World War, many influential diplomats of the world have begun to talk about forming a new world order.
大家还记得这个老布什总统吗？
Do you still remember President Bush, the senior?
当他在做总统的时候，多次提倡要成立新世界秩序。
When he was president, he mentioned many times that he would like to see a new world order.
现在在这个世界上有一个老人家，他已经91岁，名叫 Henry Kissinger。
Currently, there's an old man, 91 years old, whose name is Henry Kissinger.
他曾经是尼克松总统的国务卿，
He used to be the Secretary of State of President Nixon.
他是一个非常有影响力的政治家跟外交家。
He's a very influential politician and diplomat.
他正在竭力的推动新世界秩序的发生。
And he's putting forth all his effort to establish a new world order.
如果大家有看这个《Time Magazine》时间杂志，
If you have reviewed the Time magazine,
在9月22号这一期就特别用很长的篇幅登他要做的事情。
on the 22nd of this month, there's an article, lengthy article that introduces and show what he's trying to do.
这些事情都告诉我们，圣经的预言应验在我们的眼前了。
All these things are telling us that the prophecy of the Bibles are being fulfilled in our presence.
现在我们讲应验在我们这个世代的第4个预言。
Now let's look at the fourth fulfillment of prophecy in our time.
很多人可能忽略了这个预言的实现。
Maybe many people have overlooked the realization of this prophecy.
西方雅书2章4节说，
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 4 says,
他说加萨必至见弃，雅什基伦必长荒凉。
Gaza would be forsaken, and Ashkelon desolate.
你问加萨就是我们经常在新闻上听见，在以色列的南部那个加沙走廊吗？
You ask, is Gaza the same that we heard on the news very often at the southern parts of Israel, the Gaza corridor?
就是那个地方。
And the answer is, it is.
现在简单的讲加萨的一个历史背景。
Let me briefly review the background of Gaza.
在耶稣亚的时候，加萨这个地方是神分配给犹大支派。
During the time of Joshua, Gaza was a place that God has assigned to the tribe of Judah.
公元70年以后，以色列就散居全世界各个地方。
After AD 70, the Israelites dispersed among the nation.
1948年以色列复国以后，加萨这个地方仍然操控在埃及的手里。
The year of 1948, when the Jews returned to their homeland, Gaza was still under the control of the Egyptians.
直到1967年的6日战争，
Until the Six-Day War in the year of 1967.
西乃半岛跟加萨这个地方才归回到以色列人的手里
The。Sinai Peninsula and Gaza returned to the Israelites' hands.
从此，犹太人就居住在其中，建立他们的家园。
Ever since, the Israelites live in it and built their home.
但是西方雅书2章4节明明说，在末世的时候，加沙要被放弃。
But the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 4, clearly predicted that at the end time, Gaza would be abandoned.
你说怎么有这回事？
And you say, how could this be?
以色列政府都是说，我们永远不会放弃我们的一寸土地给敌人。
The Israelites nation insisted that they would never give an inch of their land to their enemies.
在2005年8月以前，人们读到西方雅的预言，无人以为然。
Before August of 2005, when everyone read the prophecies of Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 4, no one cares about it.
但是2005年的8月份，突然发生一件事，
But August of 2005, something suddenly happened.
当时的总理叫做 Ariel Sharon，
The Prime Minister then was Ariel Sharon.
他是6日战争中打败埃及的将军。
He was the general that led the army to defeat the Egyptian army.
当时由于美国、欧盟、联合国、俄罗斯4强施加的压力，
Because of the pressure that came from the United States of America, the European Union, and the United Nations, and Russia.
Sharon 突然之间决定要放弃加沙这个地方。
Sharon, all of a sudden, decided to give up Gaza.
首先，他就请国家的安理会来投票，
First, he invited the Security Councils of Israel to vote.
结果有2/3的议员赞成说放弃加沙。
The result was that 2/3 of the council members approved the giving up of Gaza.
他又到这个以色列的国会，请国会来投票表决。
Sharon then went to the Congress to ask them for a vote.
结果还是2/3的议员说放弃加沙。
The result was the same. 2/3 of the members decided to give up Gaza.
他又请全国的民众投票，
And then he went to the public, asked everyone in the nation to vote.
结果2/3的人赞成说放弃加沙。
And the result was the same. 2/3 of the people decided to give up Gaza.
就这样，在2005年的8月，加沙走廊这块地真的被自己的政府、自己的人民放弃了。
In this way, Gaza, on August 2005, Gaza was being abandoned by its own people, the Israelites.
当时散居在世界各处的犹太人和基督徒，听到这个消息，非常的不理解。
During that time, all the Jews throughout the world, including believers throughout the world, could not understand why this happened.
因为这是神应许给他们的地方，
For Gaza was a place God promised to his people.
这是犹大支派的产业，
It is the inheritance of the tribe of Judah.
是他们用生命换取来的。
They traded it with their lives.
但政府竟然把这土地放弃了，
But the government gave up this land.
并且政府说，在决定后的7天内，要将所有住在加沙的犹太人强行带走。
And the government decided that within 7 days after the decision, they forced every Jew on Gaza to leave the land.
没有一个人愿意离开这个地方，
No one was willing to depart from this place.
每一个人都流着眼泪，
Everyone left the place with tears.
被他们的政府、被他们的军队这样抬走。
They were carried away by their government and their own soldiers.
这件事使到以色列在现代史上成为第一个将土地占给敌人的国家。
Now, Israel became in modern time the first country to give land to their enemies.
你问加沙现在如何？
You ask, what happens to Gaza now?
回答：加沙现在被哈马斯恐怖组织所占据。
Answer, Gaza has been occupied by the terrorist organization called Hamas.
哈马斯凶狠地对待以色列，
The Hamas organization violently treated the Israelites.
他们宣称我们存在的目的就是要消灭以色列。
They declared that the purpose of their existence was to destroy Israel.
所以他们一方面挖这个地道通往埃及去购买武器军火，
On one hand, they dug the tunnel that go into Egypt to purchase rockets and missiles from Egypt.
另一方面挖地道通往以色列，要去毁坏以色列。
On the other hand, they dig the tunnel into the land of Israel in order to destroy Israel.
当他们有很多的军火的时候，就开始攻击，向以色列发动攻击。
And whenever they have gathered enough weapons, they begins to attack Israel.
大家还记得，在过去的2个月，就是7月跟8月间，有50天的时间， 他们又开始攻击以色列。
You remember that in the past 2 months, July and August, totally there are 50 days in which the Hamas attacked Israel.
并且他们攻击以色列的火箭、飞弹都是从医院、学校、贫民区发射出去。
And the rocket and the missiles that they shoot came from hospital, from school, and from the civilian area.
以色列的雷达发现了，当然就打回去。
Of course, when the Israelites radar discovered that, they answer it.
打回去就杀死很多人，也伤害很多的生
And
命。
when the rocket returned, they kill many people, destroy many lives.
但是以色列这样做是不得已的，
Israelites did this without choice,
因为他们必须保护自己。
for they need to protect themselves.
你问为什么有这个哈马斯呢？
You ask, why Hamas? What is the meaning of it?
你说哈马是什么意思？
What is meant by Hamas?
哈马是一个希伯来字，
While the word Hama is a Hebrew word.
哈马斯的意思是强暴。
The meaning of Hamas in Hebrew is violence.
大家记得在挪亚的时代，神用洪水审判世界。
You remember that in the time of Noah, God destroyed the world with flood.
当时的世界光景如何？
What was the situation of the world then?
创世纪第6章13节说，地上满了强暴。
The book of Genesis 6:13 says the whole land was filled with violence.
强暴这个字在希伯来文就是哈马斯。
And this violence, the same word in Hebrews, is Hamas.
耶稣在马太福音24章37节说，
Jesus Christ says in Matthew 24 verse 37,
他说挪亚的日子怎样，人子降临也要怎样。
as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man.
意思是主耶稣回来之前，地上将充满哈马斯。
The meaning of Jesus is that before his return to earth, the whole earth will be filled with Hamas.
不是吗？紧接着7月、8月，哈马斯跟以色列的战争，最近在中东又出现这个叫伊斯兰国 （ISIS）。
Isn't it true that right after the attack of Hamas against Israel in the Middle East, there came another organization called the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria.
ISIS 武装分子是有史以来最恐怖的组织。
Now, this group of people who are equipped with weapons are the most fearful people ever occurred in human history.
他们声称拥有核子武器，可以毁灭以色列。
They claim that they have nuclear weapon and that would be enough to destroy Israel.
今天恐怖组织在中东越来越猖狂，
Today, the terrorist group become more violent all the days.
以色列将遭受更多的攻击。
The Israelites will incur more and more Hamas.
最终还要引起第3次世界大战。
Finally, this will incur the Third World War.
然后主耶稣就从天降临。
At that time, Jesus will come from heaven.
但是在这最后7年之前，基督徒真正重生得救的基督徒，在7年之前就要被提，外邦得救数目满足的时候，教会就要被先带
But
走。
before this occurs, before all this final violence happened in the world, the church will be raptured until the number God has intended to save in the church age is full. The church will be raptured.
弟兄姐妹，以上分享的是几个例子，圣经预言应验在我们这个时代。
Brothers and sisters, above are a few examples of how the prophecies of the Bible have been fulfilled in our time.
这些事情的应验是照圣经的话语应验的。
All the things that have been fulfilled happen exactly as the Bible says.
是正着圣经预言所指定的时间应验的。
They will be fulfilled at the appointed times of the prophecy of the Bible.
是公开的应验，
And they have been fulfilled publicly.
是全世界人都可以见证的。
It is something that the whole world could give testimony
这
to.
些是以色列进入最后7年之前的预兆。
Now, all of these are signs that the Israelites are about to enter into the final 7 years of the 70 weeks.
当然，圣经还有很多的预言跟预兆，
Of course, the Bible has many other prophecies and signs.
好像战争、饥荒、瘟疫、地震频繁的发生。
It would be just like the frequency in more